So, welcome, member, to our YouTube channel. Uh, I appreciate that you are giving us time to share your experience with us. So, would you like to just introduce yourself?
Okay, so my name is Amber Pandey and I am a data engineer at Data AI. Currently, I have around 3 years of experience, including internships and full-time experience in data science, software engineering, and data engineering. Yeah, that's a bit about myself.
So, when was the first time you encountered about this data field, and how did you think of it?
So in 2017, actually, I have my relatives who work closely in the data field in UK. So I got to know about data engineering and data science through them. So they told me that whichever trends the East follows, India will follow eventually. So since 2017, I've started to learn data science like Python and machine learning models and deep learning through Udemy courses and Coursera courses, etc. So through that, I got to learn about all the things.
So, basically, you started learning all this in your college time, right?
Before starting college.
Wow. So, it means you were in school and then you came to know about this and you started preparing at the time.
Yeah,
So, what was the first thing you started learning?
about Python and big data tools like Hadoop and Yarn. That was the first thing.
So normally any student they go for studying DSA or something in the beginning
No,
of the,
no.
but you started with directly with data.
Yeah.
So like at the time when you started learning, what were your views? What would you would be doing in the job, and is it same what you thought at the time, or it's different?
It's somewhat different because earlier I was more inclined towards data science and building models from scratch. I have done that in my college life, but to be frank, it's not very exciting because it involves a lot of research and there is no particular end product after a data science life cycle project, because there is no tangible thing that you can create, because everything relies upon the data. If data is not good, it's not clean, then there is no point of building a model. It will be trash. So after the college life, I started more inclining toward data engineering because it's there is a tangible value after a particular pipeline or a project. We can see that we have built this and it's working currently. So my learning process is to build a small thing, but it should be working. So it boosts up my confidence.
So now, you must have met people also who probably transitioned into data engineering, right?
Yes.
What do you think? You straight away jumped into this, right? So, what do you think as a person who is coming from non-tech background? How easy it is for them to do this?
Um, for data engineering, it's really technical for the non-tech person to be entering. But I would advise if they start first with the data analysis part or data visualization or BI related part, because it's less technical in terms of like programming languages. So it is a more visual basic job. So if they go first in that part, because it can develop their logical thinking and how to uh, be familiarized with the data, how to tackle the data cleaning processes and in that job role. So it will be easier for them to transition to data analysis first and then try to learn the tools along the way to transition to data engineering after that.
So, what is the day-to-day activity of a data engineer? The duration of a project and in day-to-day, what do you do exactly?
So in the past companies, there were pre-built processes established, and I just have to maintain it. And they were not expecting me to increase the proficiency or reduce the cost of any infrastructure pipeline, but I did that to be the outstanding one from the crowd. So, but in my current project, I am the only data engineer in the team of like 20 to 30 people. and I'm building and maintaining all the ETL pipelines is basically which the from the Snowflake databases and the Postgres. So basically, today jobs includes building and maintaining ETL pipelines and a bit research about other tools as well that could be incorporated in our pipelines.
So, as from your experience, what are the things a person should know to become a data engineer?
Um, Considering the market trends, Python, SQL, and data processing engine like Apache Spark, and any one cloud provider, AWS, GCP, or Azure, that will increase the chances of getting hired as a data engineer. Yeah, that's it.
So, tell us about your interview experience, your first interview experience, and how are you feeling at the time? What kind of questions they asked?
Okay, so my first interview was at Netlink when I was in my second semester. So Netlink is a software services company in my hometown Bhopal, and I interviewed there about a Python engineer role, Python intern role, and at that time I was not very confident to speak to an interviewer or give the interview, so I didn't pass through that interview. I was not able to create a simple program of how to iterate in a list at that time. So years later, I interviewed for the same position at data science intern at Netlink at my last year of college. So I passed the interview and I got the internship. And there I built a face recognition system for their in-house office premises, and also built a vehicle number plate detection. So it recognizes the number plate and extracts the uh, vehicle numbers for the traffic police. So I spent around 11 months there. So the first interview, if you could say, was not that good. So till now, I have actually given more than 1,000 interviews, if you include all the interviews that I've given in past 2 years. Also,
Wow. So, I want to ask, like, what kind of questions they ask in a data engineering interview?
yeah. First, two kind of interviews are there. So first kind of interviews are that which they test on your logical things for like DSA part, basic DSA arrays and strings. So they expect you to be familiar with Python or Java normally, and the second round they can ask about SQL basis questions on SQL and how do you like deal with the real time databases. And through my interview journey, I have basically seen that many of the interviewers are not inclined towards asking me the DSA based questions, because recently I got more exposure towards data engineering as a hands-on practice through my experience. So they were more inclined with me about the system design architecture part of the data engineering. So how what things do we consider in designing a pipeline? How do we procure the requirements, and how to design a data pipeline for scalability and all the things. So if you can build a project, near real-time project about on the pipelines and the ETL part, and that would be good, because interviewers mostly think Python, SQL, and other tools are easily able to learn. But if you have done a practical project which is working with a proper design document and all the things which is required in the industry, then it will be a plus point in the interviews.
That's great to know. So, share something from your life. Like, normally people just share about their success. Share something about from your life where you felt that you feel very low, demotivated, not much confident about achieving something. So, how did you deal with it?
Um, yes. So, firstly, it was so the college that I went into. they didn't. The professor didn't know what's the Python language in the first year, and they asked me what I'm learning. So at that time, I already learned some machine learning models and Python, SQL, everything. But the professor asked me what I'm learning, so I told them all the things that I'm learning. So he didn't able to know. He was not aware of the Python language at the time. It was just 2017. So I felt like this is the wrong place for me, the college, the environment, because no one was out of 120 people in my batch was learning things which I'm learning. And if I'm getting stuck, there was no one to help me out. Anything. So at that time, only Google and Stack Overflow was the friend, you can say. And that's the harsh reality of learning the new things, because currently also my friend circle is mostly towards backend development, Java, Spring Boot, all the things. Only I think out of 20 people, only one or two people are in the data centric part. So if I need to discuss or brainstorm things on some part of tool, so there is no one to like connect with in terms of these things. Yeah.
So, what is the average salary of a fresher in the field of data engineering?
Um, so in my case, I got placed via off-campus drive of Accenture. So it's a publicly available data. So they give 3.5 to 4.5 LPA as a fresher if you join straight out of college. So it is irrespective of data engineering. They offer this package to all the engineering graduates.
But with experience in this field,
Yeah, it
what are
can
the
dramatically,
yeah? So, like,
Yeah.
can you give some examples? You know that with 1 2 years experience, you can achieve a good package, certain range or something.
Yes. So if you stay in the same company, for example, if you join at 3.5 and if you stay at the same company, let's say 2 years down the line, so after in usually service-based companies give a promotion in 2 years. So your package will be doubled. So it's become 6 to 6.5, including everything. And if you want to switch from your current company to a different company, then uh, because currently the market is not that good, so you can expect between 50 to 70% of hike on your existing package in terms of data engineering or data science. Yeah.
So, can you give some advice to people looking for jobs? Like, every person apply to jobs in a different way. Some people get it, some people struggle. So, what are the mistakes they usually do, and what do you suggest them to avoid mistakes?
Okay, so I can suggest what I have done. So firstly, I created a resume and I tried to reach out to people on LinkedIn who are working in good companies and have years of experience more than me. So, and I send my resume over them and ask them if they could give me a constructive feedback on my resume, the things that I can improve for a particular job profile, let's say data engineering or data science. So if I say send 100 messages, out of 100, maybe 10 to 15 people will reply. And out of 10 to 15 people, 5 to 6 people will be willing to help me out. So I've made a lot of good connections on LinkedIn through this way. And so the first feedback that I got, I did a grammatical mistake in my LinkedIn resume. There was something wrongly spelled. So, peer reviewing of your resume is a good thing, because when the sees your resume, or technical recruiter it sees just a glance of the resume, and it's a human tendency. We are not more inclined towards the positives. We attract over the negative part. So, if there is a small grammatical mistake or any mistake in your resume, then the recruiters I first get onto that. So they will not willing to move forward with it. And the second part is just apply in a lot of areas. So I have applied for positions which require more than 5 years of experience, even though at that time I didn't have any industry experience. So because it increases the chances of getting selected for any role. So as a fresher, our main goal is to enter the industry first. So package should not be the main barrier as a fresher, because package will increase eventually if you do well in the country or in the domain that you have. Yeah. The first thing is the feedback, and second thing is work upon the practical projects. Maybe 2 or 3 projects is sufficient. Host them on with the proper documentation on GitLab or GitHub, so that the recruiters can see that you know what you are doing and you have done similar things in the past, so they can take a bet on you. Yeah.
So, what are the non-tech skills needed to get a data engineer job role besides technical skills?
The most important skill is to communicate well of how you are thinking about solving a problem, because data engineering is about solving engineering problems. So uh, because currently my role is a remote based role, so my whole team is based out of like 3 countries, so there is a gap in the communication time zones. So it's really important if we are confident enough to what we are communicating through the teams or Slack, and what are our thought process of solving a problem, because they it should not be the case that every time when we suggest a solution it should be 100% accurate. But if we brainstorm as a team on a particular solution, then it can become more efficient over time. Yeah. So communication, and I think communication itself can solve a lot of barriers in terms of entering the field. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Without communication, there are a lot of problems
Yeah.
happens. You can't do your job properly.
Yeah.
So, what are your hobbies? How do you keep yourself more productive and cool throughout the whole day?
um I gym. So last 1 year I started doing gym, and earlier that I was into boxing. So uh, I was training in the boxing part, and now I'm thinking of learning a new skill, swimming. So I'm taking swimming lessons in the evening, in the night. Yeah.
Yeah, swimming is very helpful. So, thank you, Amber. It was really nice talking to you. I liked your insights, and I also learned a lot from you. So, anyone, if they have any question, they can comment below, and Amber will respond there. And I will also share Amber LinkedIn profile in the description box. So, anyone who want to ask any feedback or have any questions, they can directly reach out to you. Okay.